Understandably, you've got a big, beaming smile on your face. Have you tried pinching yourself yet, just to make sure that really happened?
I think when the first one went in, I pinched myself a little bit because, I scored so early on. But, I'm just delighted that I could contribute and we won at the end of the day.
You're clutching the match ball, rightly so. What is it like to be a Premier League goal scorer, and more than that, to score a Premier League hat-trick?
Unbelievable. Before the game, I wouldn't thought that I'd score 3 goals, but after the first one, got a bit of confidence and grew into the game, and I got chances. I think at the end of the day, I should have got more in the end.
You could have scored a 4th and a 5th, couldn't you?
Yeah, I don't know if I was offside for the other one, but I think one-on-one with the keeper, I've got to be scoring that. And I think
Ollie, don't be too harsh on yourself today.
I know, but you can always improve, and I think I backed myself to score that.
When did you start thinking? I mean, you scored really early in the game, but as a team, that there was so much in it for you today.
We saw how high they play, and I just thought, the game plan was trying to get in behind them at the end of the day, and you could see it worked from there.
It definitely worked.
Yeah, it did. We fancied ourselves today, but I'm not sure we thought the scoreline would be that that.
That's an interesting thing you've said, though. So how hard did you work in the week on getting through their high line?
It was more about, just blocking off the passing lanes and just making sure they can't pass through us. We knew it would be hard, but, we all worked together and it showed tonight.
Ollie, a hat-trick against Liverpool, against Jurgen Klopp's Liverpool, against Gomez and Van Dijk. It's almost too perfect, isn't it?
Exactly, a perfect hat-trick as well, the boys are saying at half-time, so yeah, I'll take that.
Well done.
Thank you. Cheers.
A first half hat-trick in this fixture. That had only been done once before today.
Was it me? Was it?
Yeah.
I heard Andy Townsend talking in commentary about Robbie Fowler scoring a hat-trick against Villa all the time.
No, that wasn't in the first half.
I assumed it would have been Robbie.
That wasn't in the first half. You got yours at Anfield against Villa. So.
Good stuff.
But that guy there, he hadn't even scored in the Premier League before today. That A, get a hat-trick, and B, get it against the champions' defence that only conceded 33 goals all of last season.
Yeah, you don't get much change out of Liverpool's back four and Van Dijk. Of course, there was a change in goal today, and that never helped. But, you can make all the excuses you like. Villa put Liverpool under a lot of pressure. They had pace. And, we mentioned just before the game, when you look at Villa's team sheet now, all of a sudden you think, wow, that's a decent team. Grealish and Watkins, they've just signed Barkley, and all of a sudden you're thinking, this is a team that can cause teams problems. I didn't think Liverpool thought they would cause them this many problems, and fully deserved. There were, 3 of the goals were deflections. On another day, you don't get the rub of the green. The ball goes out into the Holt end, and you only score 2 or 3 goals. But they did have chances they missed as well. Hit the woodwork. It was a great game. My brain's just trying to unravel what's happened today and think, is that normal? Is it because there's no fans? Is it because what is it? But when you watch the game, they fully deserved it. No excuses.
Yeah, and whatever Ollie Watkins goes on to achieve in his career, that is a day, and those goals, he will never, ever forget. It's a landmark day for him, Tim.
Absolutely, and it started so brilliantly. Adrian gift wraps this one for him. Jack Grealish just picks up the pieces there. Gomez cannot let him back inside, and he does, and Ollie's got a simple task. I'm pleased for these kids when they come from the Championship, they go to get their move to the Premier League. Look, Gomez has to come out there, make it easy for Adrian, but it's a poor decision from Adrian. And Jack Grealish just goes quick as you like back into Ollie Watkins. But when they come from the Championship, Steve, and everyone says, well, they can do it in the Championship, they will never be able to do it. We've seen Patrick Bamford this year do it as well for Leeds. If they're given a chance, they can perform. Put them on the stage, give them a chance and show what they can do. Jurgen's telling Adrian there what everyone knows. The whole world is saying, why don't you kick it up the field? Give us a breather. There's Jack Grealish, opens them up again. It drags it inside, outside the foot, gives Ollie Watkins no control problems. He cuts inside Gomez and he smashes it in the top corner. But this is all about Grealish. Look, Fabinho goes to, he just drags it. It's like he's in the park, Jack Grealish. The game is so easy for him, and Ollie wants to get it inside. As soon as he takes it inside, it makes the goal a lot bigger, the angle's better, and he just sticks it in the postage stamp mode.
Yeah, it's a lovely finish, cutting inside on your right and on your right foot. I'll just go back to the Grealish part of that. the bravery to actually take it back into a clustered area, that just shows you the confidence in him. And then, of course, he has a hand to play in this as well. I think he's telling Ross Barkley what to do, but Ross Barkley does it perfectly. A high line from Liverpool. Tim spoke about maybe that line should have been on the 18-yard box, but there was no look about that goal. Brilliant ball. And how many times as well, when a ball fizzes like that, just see the striker just having almost like a flick header, as we see on the far side. He's certainly onside, but here, how many times you see people just sort of almost shy away from it and flick it this side of the post, but he thumps it into the back of the net. Great goal scorer's finish.
He certainly does. 7 goals conceded by Liverpool, by the Premier League champions, by Jurgen Klopp, the Liverpool manager. First time that's happened to him in his managerial career. And there you go, his heaviest league defeats. One for Mainz, and then by 5 goals for the second time as the Liverpool manager at 5-0 against City in 2017. And, of course, today's 7-2 defeat. The Liverpool boss will speak to us a little bit later on. First of all, here's the Liverpool captain today, Virgil van Dijk.
Virgil, first time in 57 years Liverpool has shipped 7 goals. What went wrong?
Yeah, obviously very disappointed. Also, if you look at the goals, we should have done better. And it was one of those days where just, obviously the 3 deflected shots, didn't help. Obviously the chances we had, we didn't score. We were quite too open. The organisation wasn't as good as normal. So it felt like it was one of those days where nothing went, how we wanted to go. And but we can't take, credit off Aston Villa. So well done to them.
Did Alisson's absence unsettle things a little?
I don't think we're gonna blame entirely Adrian for this. Obviously, we know that, for example, in the first goal he can do better. But if you look at all the other goals, we could have all of us could do better. So we're not gonna give that the reason why we lost here with big numbers.
Has the conversation been in the dressing room after that?
Obviously, it's going to be a bit difficult because everyone is, going away today or tomorrow. So we have to stick together. We're an experienced group. Obviously, we didn't lose with this kind of number so far, and hopefully never again. But it is key to stick together, and everyone has to contribute to that as well.
And how important now is the Merseyside derby? It's always important, but it takes on an extra dimension, I guess.
We're still early in the season. Obviously, we want to win every game. But what I said, everyone is going to their respective countries and have to perform for the countries, stay fit, don't get the coronavirus, and hopefully everyone's coming back fit, and now we focus on Everton.
Thanks, Virgil.
Thank you.
He's understandably disappointed, Michael. Does he look shell-shocked as well, when you give him the standards of their defending over the last 2 or 3 years?
I think he is, but I do like his attitude as well, because I think that type of attitude will sort of get them through it. Almost water off a duck's back. Yeah, it was one of those days. 3 deflections, a few mistakes. If you're one of those people that... It's Jurgen Klopp's job to worry about it. If you're a player, then if you can make any excuse to exonerate yourself, your teammates, to keep your confidence levels high, self-belief high, OK, it was one of those days, next game. If you sit there thinking, oh, yeah, it was my fault, and, all of a sudden your shoulders start to slump, you start to panic, you start to, just it goes through there. I think that attitude, he looked chilled out, didn't he? He's disappointed, of course he's disappointed. But if I was a Liverpool fan, which I am, watching him, I'm thinking, do you know what? It's not going to affect him too much. He'll be back on it next game, and I think that's the right attitude to have.